Now, today on the program, Naira gains just as CBN pays banks $6.7 billion at the Forex backlog. And later on the show, we will share this with you. President Tinubu sets up Constitutional Review Committee on Police Reforms. I'm hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, the man they know as BKO. I greet you, Jide.
Good evening, citizen.
Yeah, and we're joined by Adekunle Yusuf. I greet you too.
I'm glad to be here.
Okay, so the team is ready. I hope you are. Now to our first story. You know, the T-shaped Yaba flyover in Lagos, which would serve as an alternative route to access Ebutemeta, Onyibo, and Surulere, was inaugurated by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Now, this is one of the 4 bridges being constructed by the state government along the Red Line rail corridor. We are getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere, don't you think? But first, let's share this story with you. Watch on, please.
The Yaba overpass is one of the 5 bridges the Lagos state government agreed with the Federal Ministry of Transport to build to separate vehicular and train traffic as part of the Red Line Rail project. This is to eliminate incessant accidents on the railway level crossing. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his deputy, Obafemi Hamzat, joined other officials of the state and well-wishers to officially open the overpass to traffic.
Before the end of this year, we will begin our testing on the Red Line. The infrastructure, the construction are well over 90%. In fact, some of them have indeed been completed.
Governor Sanwo-Olu said the Lagos Rail Mass Transit will not stop with the blue and the red lines, as more will come.
The Green Line is a 68-kilometer rail route from Marina all the way to the Lekki Free Trade Zone. The Purple Line is a 60-kilometer length all the way from Redemption Cap in Ogun State to Ojo. And of course, we also want to do the Orange Line. It will take away all from Agbowa, it will move all the way to Ikeja.
The Red Line is a 37-kilometer rail project. The entire rail line would have 8 stations at Agbado, Iju, Agege, Ikeja, Oshodi, Mushin, Yaba, and Oyingbo.
The Red Line, when opened for passenger operations, will have an exponential effect on the economy of Lagos and the way in which we travel.
The government is working at making sure that a greater number of Lagosians drop their vehicles and use public transport for their daily commutes.
The train line is expected to reduce congestion and emission, as well as facilitate easy movement of commuters and goods.
The Red Line Rail is expected to convey 500,000 passengers a day for the phase 1. And when this project is fully implemented, it will move 1 million passengers daily. This will complement the Blue Line that is to carry 500,000 passengers a day, making it 1.5 million passengers that will commute via the Lagos Rail Mass Transit daily. Adedoja, Salam Adeni, TVC News, Lagos.
Many thanks, Adedoja. It could have been better, but then better late than never.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. That it should have come earlier.
It should have come. It should have been. Yeah, should have been here before now.
Yes, it should have been here. We would have had the metro line during the
Jakonde years.
Jakonde years. Because the military took power forcibly on the eve of New Year, 1984, Jakonde could not have completed it or lost the opportunity to complete what he actually envisioned.
Envisioned, yeah.
The then governor of Lagos State, military governor of Lagos State, Bola, what's his name again? Remember his surname?
The Air Force guy.
Yes, Bola. Is it Bola?
Oh. Lawal or something.
Do you remember?
He should remember.
Mudashiru, Bola Mudashiru.
Yeah.
Bola Mudashiru was ordered to stop the project, you know, by somebody who felt that Lagos shouldn't have it. I don't want to open up old wounds because people's blood will boil.
Yeah.
But that was what happened at that time. And because he was a junior officer to the person who gave the directive, he had no
counter.
No, he couldn't do anything other than just obey. And we paid a hefty penal fee for breach of contract. I just pray that Nigeria will never have to face that kind of situation again, because why did you have to stop a project like that? And then, knowing that you will pay a penalty fee, you still insisted that the project had to stop. But thankfully, we have something, you know, that helps us to attempt to forget the past. It's not for those that witnessed what happened at that time. It's foolhardy to expect that they will forget. But what we have now, those who did not witness it, at least will be happy that in their time they have something like this. Abuja too is working on a metro line. So we are getting there gradually. Commuting globally, greater number of people are moved by trains, not buses and other. In our country, we depend so much on moving our people and goods through trucks and buses. You know, but we have to realize that that is not the best way to move people and goods. The train remains the best. It's capable of moving far more people than buses and cars will move. So I believe that as we move on, more Nigerians will ditch their cars and
hop on the
train. And once they are done with work, wherever they park their cars, they can go and pick. So that will give their cars even greater lifespan and all that. So
it tells you and I it can be done, because in my mind's eyes, I haven't been to Yaba in months now, but I'm looking at the picture. You know how you access Ebutemeta, Onyibo, and all that in record time, so to speak.
You are really missing if you have not been there. Since you know the old Yaba, is the park, the same route that leads to Imbo. So just imagine that you now have, you know, a huge bridge.
Route, you are losing me. You mean route? You are Americanized. No, it's all right. Go on.
So you now, instead of having to wait or this, you just go your way straight. Those who are going to go straight without having to wait for anybody. You go to, you know, you want to go access Unilag through that exit. You go this way. From there, you Alagomeji. You want to do so, but it's beyond that. It's about, you know, commuting in Lagos State with a population of about 20 million. Something has to be done.
Yeah.
Njide was talking about a dream that was aborted. It was Buhari administration that did. And it's a painful thing. And history has recorded that anyway. But now,
history is very unkind to an old man. I remember.
The old man chooses to be unkind.
I will not discuss the kindness or otherwise of history. History will only say what you have done. And people will put everything in the proper perspectives. But now, some people are coming, how many decades, you know, after, you know, to right those wrongs. Because Lagos of 30, 40 years ago is not the Lagos of today.
Obviously.
So people keep trooping to Lagos. And when people describe Lagos as the true microcosm of Nigeria, believe me, they are not wrong. Virtually everybody.
You can see almost every part of Nigeria.
Virtually every family has one person, one family member in Lagos State. So when you say Nigeria, you mean Lagos. When you say Lagos, you mean Nigeria. There is no state in Nigeria. Not even Abuja, they are calling the federal capital thing, can, stand in the status of Lagos State. In this,
and of course, Lagos had always dreamt of has this big picture as a cosmopolitan area, and so.
Hey, no, it's a land where dreams come true. You understand why are people trooping here? You want your dreams to come true, but let's leave the dreams. Let's talk about this. No. Let's.
Dreams is natural, but the experts say when you dream, you wake up.
Okay, don't worry. We will discuss dreams later.
Sometimes you wish that you could continue
your dreams. So
depending on
yes, because if it's a very blissful dream, you just
you don't want to end to the dreams. So when you look at what has happened, it will assist in the rail transport, sector.
It's possible. Imagine if
it's not that it's possible. That is why they have 4. You have one in Mushi. This same one you have in Yaba. No, you have another one in. You have another one in Ikeja. Wait, you have another one in Ikeja. You have one in Yaba, one in Mushi. I think one in Oyebo. So the purpose is when the blue line is on, the red line will join, the green, all those. By the time all those things come online, Lagos will be a dream country on its own, even though it's just a state in Nigeria. It's going to be a different experience entirely in terms of
good old Lagosian. Thank you. Yes. Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome. All right. I hear we must go to the next story. It is possible. Now, when the Canadian politician Alan Pope said, let me quote him, people shouldn't be afraid of their government, government should be afraid of their people, he meant to say that the people were employers of their governments, in a manner of speaking. So in Imo State, the frosty relationship between organized labor, a representative of the people, seems to negate the concise statement of the Canadian politician. Whereas Governor Hope Uzodinma says the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, Joe Ajaero, must learn to draw a line between being a labor leader and being a partisan Imo State indigene. Now, organized labor, on the other hand, has vowed to take action against the governor following the brutalization of Ajaero. Are we in for some fireworks? Do you think?
Yes, we are in.
Okay. As you people say there, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Of course. You will see the state government talking. Apart from the state governor, you see the commissioner of information, you see all of them talking. And from the end of the labor, I think some minutes ago, the labor said they will go on strike.
On the 8th?
You get what I'm saying? So it will continue like that. But when you come down, you need to think about the issues. If possible, in a dispassionate manner. You understand what I'm saying? Ajaero is from Imo State.
He's an Aluta man.
Of course. An Aluta man. I would say one of us in those days, but an Aluta man today. Now is the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress. The issue at stake is the state government, Imo State government, is it owing salaries of some workers or not? That's what the NLC is.
Well, the governor says he has paid all outstanding salaries.
That is not absolutely true. Based on the facts on the ground, the HEDIO administration began what is called staff verification, or audit exercise. The sitting government of Uzodinma took it over and continued. But as we speak today, there's a whole lot of people that are not being paid. What the government is saying is that they are ghost workers, and by that the government meant that these are people who have not been verified. You understand what I'm saying? Who have not been verified.
And you're wondering
how
long that will take?
I now ask, if they have not been verified, have you sacked them? You say they are ghost workers.
Can you sack ghosts?
By the laws of Nigeria, you can arrest any ghost worker and try them.
You can arrest
since you said, so you can try them, you can do it. Has that been done? When we say ghost workers, we didn't mean ghosts in the true sense.
Okay.
We just called them. So now, I asked, somebody who is knowledgeable in the affairs of Imo State, can you put this in perspective? Like how many people? And the man said between 10 to 20% of the state workforce. I said, but that's enormous. So what we are saying is, between Ajero and the state government, there is still truth in what this is saying, but not exact truth. So you need to balance what the state government is saying that is not owing workers. It's not absolutely true. It's owing some workers, even though it's paying those it found worthy through its audit exercise. Yeah. Those who are not worthy, according to the verdict, that is, those described as ghost workers are not being paid. So is it right for Ajero to go and protest, especially when politics is around? That's another thing.
And so,
but
sorry, Kunle, you are looking at Ajero, the Alutaman, and Ajero, an indigenous, a son of the soil.
Yes, the Ajero as NLC president, I would not, but because you realize that the state chapter of the same body are in bed with the state government, then the national leadership is not happy with that. You have to dissolve and come up with caretaker. Then the state government say no, that you cannot do that, and no, that is it. So when you look at it deeply, it's all politics that is at play. Yeah. And unfortunately, Labour
and in the face of an upcoming election,
of course, Labour is a very dirty, political game. Labour shouldn't be seen, playing politics. Ajero, to me, played into the hands of the state government, because if you need to, as a Nigerian, you have a right to protest. Yeah. As NLC, you have a right to protest. But because when you have interests that clash, what should you do? You have deputy president, you have this vice president. All of them can go ahead and do it. That's my opinion, but I don't think he has done the right.
Jide, and to be a likable governor, and for that matter, government, is not magic. You do certain things, and the people will applaud you. Or what do you think? What do you say?
I don't know. I don't know what to say. This issue is not about somebody wanting people to like him. It's a case of a governor seeing Ajero as coming
as a threat
to make his re-election difficult. And that is an election that will be potentially close, because the candidate of the Labour Party is wrong. Is physically challenged, but he has tremendous support, no doubt about it, because he's a philanthropist, and people tend to like philanthropists because they remember those good things that such people had done in the past for them. So the governor felt coming so close to the election, 10 days to an election, to lead a protest, and some of the rhetorics used to describe the Imo administration, there is no way that Hope Uzodimma will be comfortable about that. And it's like, given all the noise that the NLC made about the rally that they plan to do in that state, the government was also fantastically prepared for them. And they were not going to give Ajero the chance to move around and demarcate it in the manner that they plan to do. there is a big problem with being a union leader and appearing to support a political party, whether Ajero likes it or not. By aligning with the Labour Party that feeds candidates in elections, that has suddenly become one of the most prominent parties in our country, some of his moves will be seen as partisan.
Yeah.
You can, for example, be following the presidential candidate of the Labour Party about going with him to presidential election petitions court, you know, going to the party secretariat and expect that people will not see you as manifestly supporting Labour Party. And if Labour Party is actively involved in the oncoming election, definitely they will see you as trying to help the party.
Yeah.
That's the way, if you ask 3 or 4 persons on the side of the governor, that is the way they are thinking. That he did what he did it on purpose to make it difficult for us to win, or make it impossible for us to win. The timing is the issue. Because it came so close to the election. If I'm sure they didn't just discover that the governor was owing some categories of workers. But this should have taken place before now.
Yeah.
This was the sort of rallying of Nigerians that people expected Ajero and his people to do when we had this Naira repainting exercise called Naira redesign. People look forward to Labour. Labour didn't show up, despite the fact that bank workers were being beaten up because people will come to a bank and will not be able to get money, whereas the vaults of the banks were empty. I met a guy who works for one of the major banks in Abuja, and he told me, he said, in my 25 years of working in the operations department of banks, this is somebody who had moved from bank to bank, up to 6 banks. He said, for the first time, the vault of their branch is in Asokoro, a very big branch, the vault was empty. That's to tell you what Nigerians went through during the Naira redesign season. Ajero never called out workers for a strike, despite the fact that Nubife, after they beat up bank workers, Nubife actually threatened that they will go on strike. The parent labor body never got Nigerians to go on strike, and the pains inflicted on Nigerians during that period, I doubt if Nigerians had ever witnessed it since Nigeria became an independent nation. Many people lost their businesses. Many people died. Many people they couldn't pay their hospital bills. They died in the process. Some were rejected. But you couldn't call people out for a strike because at that time it appeared to fit into the wish and plan of some people, because they felt, oh, if some politicians didn't have access to money, they won't be able to win an election. How silly do people think? How silly. Politicians, just like Ndumese said, if we need money, we will call the banks, they will give us. It is the ordinary people who will not have access to money. Yeah. So Labour must not take steps, must not behave in a way that will make people begin to think that, oh, Labour is actually supporting a particular party. Even in that, workers, members of the respective workers' union, they belong to different political tendencies. There are some in APC, there are some in PDP. So if you are seen to be openly partisan, then there's a problem somewhere. Yeah. Now, even now, they said because Ajero was beaten, now you want to call a nationwide strike. Why?
All right.
Must everything be resolved
just a minute
with the instrumentality of strike?
We must make some money now. We'll go on a commercial break. Just hold it there. We'll be back. Please, let's go on this break. Join us in a short moment. Thank you.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to officially welcome you to the grand launch of this wonderful initiative celebrating the completion of the first 2,000 vehicles assembled here in Ogba.
To the glory of God and to the benefit of mankind, I now officially commission the 2,000 car itself, number 2,000, built by GSC in conjunction with the Lagos State government as partners.
Our story began with the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between CIG Motor Company Limited and Lagos State government sometime in September 2020 at the peak of COVID-19 pandemic. Once it was signed, my team and I strived for just one thing: deliver on the objective of the partnership.
You know that China and Nigeria are very important strategic partner, and during the past years, we are confident in the future of automobile industry.
Let us challenge you here now that 2,000 is just a small feat. The 5,000 and the 10,000 you promised me, go out there and get it done. We don't need Tokumbo vehicles. We need tier rubber brand new vehicles in our country. And you can see, even from this place, that it is happening. Diana, thank you very much for showing the way. Hopefully many others will follow soon. I want to thank all of the banks that have also supported them. Let us reduce, our pressure on foreign currency so that indeed our kids, our youth, our young children, our young graduates can have a means of employment. Thank you very much for listening.
All right, folks, thank you, and thank you for staying there. Yeah, did I quickly take it home?
Yes, I don't think that what happened to Jero should necessitate a nationwide strike. A nationwide strike should be something of a last resort. Mm. It's not something that you just throw at us just anytime. Electricity workers have no rights to go on strike. They are among the categories of workers that the law forbids them to go on strike. Duties. But the other day in our country, they switched off the grid. Mm. The last people who did something similar during the military era, they were jailed. So are they saying that they do not know that as electricity workers, they cannot just go on strike? You are not allowed to. It's just like police going on strike. It's forbidden.
Or the hospital workers.
Police can't go on strike. Hospital workers go on strike. Hospital. I'm saying that people that the law.
Yeah.
Yes. You can't. Police can't go on strike.
Young doctors go on strike almost every year.
I was even surprised when they mentioned
almost every year. You see, let me be honest with you. What Ajiru, you see, for labor not as a movement, as an institution in Nigeria, not to die, they need to look inward. Under this administration, they have what they call credibility crisis. Believe me, Nigerians, the moment you lose the trust, you are nobody.
Yeah.
You see, Ajaero got it wrong right from day one, the beginning. As labor, organized labor, you should not have, reduced yourself into partisanship. The moment the leadership of labor under Ajaero did, in a normal setting, it will be sacrificed for somebody with a neutral mindset, not Ajaero. I have nothing against him. What happened to him what happened to him in Imo State is highly condemnable, and I will say it anywhere. But he called for it, so they shouldn't just be beating about the bush because of Nigeria. In the national interest, Ajaero is thoroughly deficient in leading that important organization.
No.
Reason, you ask me why? Because you are aligned. No, I know what I'm saying. Because he's a Nigerian and he's thoroughly qualified to be anything. But by aligning with the political, a presidential candidate,
I see that.
How do you now say something that people will believe?
But
so for you, I'm coming. Labor, we know labor over the years. I will have to say this. Because we know labor over the years, you need to, your personal interest shouldn't override that of the collective. But they need a fresh, somebody who will not be tainted with partisanship to lead labor. Now, you now even went further. Okay, what has labor achieved under this government? Almost zero. Now, if you now took it to the extreme, absurd level, you now go to your state. What Uzodinma did, condemnable, but everybody will likely do the same because your interest is also at stake.
But the situation in Imo, it will split opinion naturally.
That's what every topic does.
See, if you ask the question now, who is the better Nigerian between Malaysian and myself?
One of you.
Nigerians will pick.
See, they will decide based on what they think our political leanings. If it's Labour Party supporters
will back me.
Will back him.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the truth that they know, they will ignore it.
And if you are
they will back him.
If you are pro APC,
if it the APC,
yeah,
they will say, "Oh, Jide is it looks like one of our people," so they will support him.
And you are PDP.
If you are PDP, the PDP people will be the ones to support you. That's the way we think.
Yeah.
We also think along ethnic lines.
Okay.
More people will support him from his ethnicity. More so people, they hear your name, they say, this person is from Akwa Ibom. You will see from their comments on your Facebook page that
they will gravitate.
The people supporting you are people from your area. So opinion will always be split in our country without recourse to rationality. This is the way it is. First, who are you supporting? First, who is which ethnicity do you belong to? Those are the things that people form their opinion based on, and it's so shameful.
All right, let's talk Naira now, because it's the king of everything we're doing here. Now, the national currency, the Naira, continues to fluctuate even as giant efforts to prop it up intensifies. The Central Bank of Nigeria, the CBN, has begun to clear some of its foreign exchange backlog. While we can confirm that a sum of $6.7 billion had been paid to reduce the forex backlog, the Naira had risen to 1,120 to the dollar in the foreign exchange market. We're still a long, long way from home, Jide.
Yes, we are. There will not be a significant appreciation in the value of the Naira against the dollar without a significant injection of forex into the official market, which is the I&E window. Many people believe that by this late December, we shall begin to turn the corner. In fact, JP Morgan already predicted that by December, Naira will exchange at around 870 to the dollar. The reason I'm saying that there is a need for solid injection of forex into the market is, in the past, the CBN used to support that market with as high as $1.5 billion a month. This time round, we are struggling to inject just about $200 million into the market in a month. That is significant. If you ask anyone, any of the people involved, stakeholders involved in the forex market, they will tell you that the illiquidity is worsened by the fact that the CBN is not supplying enough. It's a question of demand and supply. There is high demand. People want to send their children to school abroad. People want to do business. They want to import raw materials. And there are people who have stolen so much money in Naira terms and are looking for dollars to convert what they've stolen, because the dollar is a much more reliable store of value than our currency. And they know that it cannot rapidly depreciate the way our currency. So they are looking for the dollars to convert what they've stolen in Naira terms to. So if you break into people's homes in Abuja, for example, and even here in Lagos, you will find tons of dollars kept under people's beds and all that. Some built very giant vaults in their homes,
air conditioned,
where they've stacked dollars. You know, they do not take such money to the banks because the source of the foreign exchange is suspect. So they do not take it to the bank. And of course, there are restrictions and all that. Then, if is
it difficult to go after such people? Is it difficult?
How do you even determine that somebody has? How do you determine that somebody has?
If you have lead.
Of course, the DSS tried that before, but that will also bring issues of fundamental human rights and all that. Nothing says that you can't keep your money in the. What they need to do is to relax some of those measures. If they relax some of those measures, people will feel free to bring such monies to the banks. Then, of course, this issue of a backlog of unpaid commitments that CBN had made. Airlines, they are owing airlines, they are owing companies, big companies, donor agencies. They are, so the finance minister said some time ago that by the time they are able to pay those people, that things will improve. Our president met the leader of UAE. Why do you think Emirates is not back in Nigeria? It's because we didn't make any concrete commitment to them.
Emirates Airlines. Yeah.
If we made commitment to them, and don't worry, in a month's time, all of what we are owing will pay you.
Yeah.
What you have genuinely made in Nigeria that you want in dollars will pay you. But we didn't make such a commitment. That's why nothing happened.
Because
this is a fact.
We didn't have it anyway.
We didn't have it. We can't have it because we were told that we had $33 billion in reserve. We've discovered that we actually had 3.3 billion. It took JP Morgan to let Nigerians know that we've been living a lie, that we've been lied to, that we had $33 billion dollars in reserve. We don't have it. The buffers that we had in the past that enabled us to defend our currency, that enabled us to improve liquidity in the forex market, we no longer have it. So we cannot defend the currency the way we would have wanted to. So we cannot deceive ourselves that, look, we have problems. And it will take a while. The president went round all of in the economic diplomacy that he did. If those countries are not convinced that they'll be able to repatriate their funds, do you think they will come here? And we want foreign portfolio investment, foreign direct investment. How will they come if they are not sure that their money will not be trapped here? So we have to clear the backlog. Once we clear the backlog, as the minister already told us, we will be able to supply the forex market.
We would have a breathing space.
Yes. And then, crucially, that confidence that we need to instill in creditors, to instill in foreign countries to come and invest in our country, we'll be able to bring it back. But first things first. And
not too long ago, Mr. President announced a unification of the market. So you expected that to give us some room too, or didn't you? If you understand what I mean.
I do. It was meant to, curb the abuses, that were prevalent in the old, regime. That is, when you have the official rate, then you have the black market. So at that moment, people were just becoming millionaires, billionaires overnight without doing nothing.
Yeah.
Without doing anything. You get what I'm saying? So to curb the abuses in that system, you need to unify. And this we have canvassed countless times on this program before, Asiwaju even told us he wanted to be president. So it's not new. But we needed somebody with courage to do it. And he came and he did it. You get what I'm saying? Now, having done it, there are challenges. Issues popped up. And that is why, how much he inherited in terms of dollar to naira and what it is now, and the pains in terms of economic impact on the country.
Yeah.
So now, how do we solve it? Nigerians have a role to play. No, Nigerians, beyond the government, Nigerians have a lot of role to play. All, I don't want to say all, many of our big men and women in the economy, what they will do is you have a big company, and usually you have foreign components in terms of maybe raw materials or whatever. Yeah. So what they do every month or regularly is they just take a stock of what they need. You, as I'm talking about your company, you submit a proposal, to the CBN, telling the Apex Bank that you need $10 million. You get what I'm saying? This is what they're doing now, speculators. And in actual fact, what you need may not be more than $1 million or even less. But you will submit a proposal of $10 million for the CBN. I'm coming, let me take it on. Then the CBN will be under intense pressure to supply you, because as manufacturers, people in the economy, without you, there is no economy. Without the economy, there is no country. So now they will now supply it. Then you just take the $1 million and send to your whatever abroad. Then the remaining $9 million you take to the black market.
Yeah.
And before you know it, by the time you calculate it, you see how much you have made. So now you are not living based on the profit your company makes. You understand? Yeah. Now you make money through Nigeria. So whatever the government is doing, they have a way of undermining the policies. And that's what is happening now. We moved from the era of open abuse. Now, the ones we are doing by ourselves, how do we take care of that?
All right.
And that is why I'm extremely happy last week when the government said it's going to do a digitized forex, exchange system.
For me.
And with that, everybody will see everybody.
Yeah. Kunle, in taking this subject home, therefore, I'll adopt what I call a bust-up economist mantra. We must go into aggressive production and foreign exchange, help the naira. That's all. No more magic. Okay, our last topic for the evening, let's talk policing. Now, police reforms, let's talk about police reforms now. Police reforms comprise measures the federal, state, and local governments can implement to address imperfections in the police system and improve our institutions. In view of this, therefore, President Bola Tinubu has set up a special committee to take a long, hard look, and work on all gaps in the nation's legal statutes from 1999 till date. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, has just been confirmed. The work starts now. The work starts now. We can have a new policing system.
It is possible. It is possible. But we need the political will to do it. Don't forget, as a background, the immediate past administration embarked on a comprehensive police reform. After the Police Act of 2020. They came over and they went to effect, and that was a comprehensive, reform. But what happened? What has happened? the Nigerian police has remained what it is. Unaccountable, or, police. Unfriendly, corrupt, inefficient, just name it. So, what happens? We need to reform the police. And you can gauge from the mindset of the new president, let's see, it's an innovative mind, we know. Let's see what he wants to bring over. Because now we need a police that will truly be the friends of Nigerians. Because is police your friend? Do you believe it when they tell you? No Nigerian believes that. So we need what we see everywhere. And we are not talking about America or UK alone. Even fellow African countries, their police are not this bad. Well, yes, their policemen and women are not this bad. So we need a police that Nigerians can relate to. The police we can call our own police. For example, look at our police in terms of, human resources, both numerical strength and skills. Can you call the Nigerian police force anything you can be proud of as a Nigerian? Nobody can do that. We need to address that.
What a shame, what a shame.
Issues of, corruption, bribery within the police. We need to address that. Issues of brutalization. What we have in Nigeria, we just have a brutalizing force. All of them carrying guns all over the place. Go to the Republic of Benin. You hardly see any policeman with a gun. They have their staff, and they are not setting roadblocks everywhere. You just see them around about, and they do like this monitoring.
When you go contrary to the...
Yes, so Nigeria is a very, very big and diverse country. We need to, enjoy the benefits of diversity. Other places where we have people like Nigeria, what they do, multi-layered policing structure. Why are people so afraid of it? Why is you have an IG that will sit down in Abuja and be monitoring what is happening in Ekiti? How is that possible? Calling the commissioner of police, come on, you don't need instructions. The state government should have its police. If possible, any local government that is buoyant enough can have its police. The university I attended in the United States have its own police. And I've never seen, not even the headquarters of the Nigerian police of Nigeria, can compare with what you have in the University of Wisconsin, Madison. What you see there, the police, office, it's not like market that you have in Nigeria. When you go to our police, barracks or offices, it's like market, people paying all of them. There is glass, you see everything computerized.
Yeah, thank you.
We need to do that.
Yeah. Yusuf, thank you. You've made a broadcast to the country. Jide, but seriously speaking, you've heard the phrase, we produce the police we have. So having an effective policing system is a two-way street, don't you think?
Yeah, but there are things that we need to do that we are not doing. The Nigerian police has some very worthy officers. It's not everybody in the police that is corrupt. There are some people in the police that you can offer them bribe, they won't take it. But we have to focus first and foremost on training and retraining. Training will improve capacity of people that are in the force. Whether they are senior people or junior, they still need to be trained and retrained because it also enhances professionalism. Then, of course, welfare. You have to do something about the welfare of the police if you want to achieve your aim of having the police of our dream. The Bauchi governor talked about funding and welfare. We've got to do something about that. Then soldiers, military men are better taken care of than soldiers.
No, not than police.
Than police. And that does not mean that they sacrifice more than the police. Police lose their lives all the time. In Zamfara this week, they killed some policemen. So we cannot have a situation in which the police general the commissioner of police is a police general, for example. A police general, we can have a situation in which the pension of a police general is 3 times lower than that of a soldier, of a retired general from the army or the Air Force. These things are not good. We are not treating the police in the right way. And that's why there's inferiority complex. The policeman already sees himself as inferior to his colleagues in the other
armed services.
Armed services. So to tell you that, look, we have good people in the police, and that all we need to do is try to harness the qualities of such people. In November 2022, the Police Service Commission rewarded the DPO of Bompai Division, Daniel Isse Ame. Daniel Ame rejected a bribe of $200,000.
Yeah.
You remember that story? And he even got a national award. He rejected a bribe of 200,000 naira, dollars. In today's economy, that translates to about 226 million naira. That's what he rejected. Armed robbers attacked a particular, were involved in a robbery and stole about 350 million. He was the one who led the operation to have those robbers arrested. And then they offered him that bribe, $200,000. I'm not talking about 200,000 naira. Daniel Ame rejected it. That is the sort of person that we want to see in the police. And it tells you that we have them.
The job of a man like that endangers the job of this crooked policeman we're talking about.
Yes. No, we need to look at training and recruitment. If we bring in the right people and we create a conducive environment for them, when you go to the training schools of the police, you see there are no louvers, there are no windows and all that. You can't bring up proper policemen in such environments.
Quickly, so let's rub in gadgetry. 21st century policing does not need.
You're talking about technology, right?
Technology, yeah. We can deploy it.
Yes, what we have is a situation in which we have some high quality technological devices that we can use to crack crime, but we don't have them in sufficient quantity. When you want to crack big crime, for example, we refer it to IRT, because they have the equipment to monitor calls and be able to track down the criminal. Yeah. We should have that equipment replicated across the police divisions in our country. It's not every time you want to catch big-time criminals that you now refer it to the IG's response team so that they can use the equipment that they have, that others don't have, to crack crime. So it's the job of the mandate for achieving the police of our dream is not something that can happen suddenly. It has to be done incrementally. We have to do it gradually.
It is doable.
It is doable, and we can get there. We have to convince ourselves that we can get there. And we have to convince ourselves that we can make the police better. We have to convince ourselves that there are good people in the police and that we need to identify them, make good examples of them so that others can learn.
That's it. I must stop you here, but let me thank you, Jide, for coming. Many thanks.
Thanks.
Adekunle, enjoy your weekend. Send the bills to us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that will just about do it on today's edition of the program. We are out of here, but not before thanking the backroom boys and, of course, the viewer at home. If you missed this program for any reason, join us later tonight at 11 for a repeat broadcast. And on Sunday, we expand the field for you from 1:30 to 3:30 on the program. And we are also on YouTube at youtube.com/BBC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now.